Hey everybody. So like I said, I was going to post an example of how to create an Excel graph, a graph in Excel. And I am going to use the Conservation of Energy Lab example. So let's go ahead and get started. Where we left off, one last thing. Before you get started, what you must have done, you have to have all your calculations. Finito. Okay? No more calculations. If you don't have calculations, you can't make a graph of your data. So first of all your data table, all your calculation table filled out. So I'm going to pan over to where we left off yesterday. And here it was. So we had gone over how to calculate potential energy, kinetic energy, change in energy, and eventually percent difference. And were able to fill out a complete case, step by step. Okay, so if you have not done so already, go back to that example, look at it, and make sure you finish that. Another thing, if you want these videos, if you want not just the video on YouTube, if you want to put it on your phone, if that's easier for you, or whatever, iPod, MP3 player, whatever it is, come to me maybe after school, and I can load the file onto your phone. Not all of them work, but some of them do. We'll give it a shot. And then that way you can have it on your phone, you don't have to bother with the computer or anything like that. Okay? All right, let's get rolling. So what do I got to do? Well, I've already taken the liberty, and last time you did not see all these numbers. I don't know why it keeps doing that. You did not see all of these numbers. So I've gone through and I've calculated change in potential energy and change in kinetic energy for every single case and every single trial. Two right here. We're going to plot change in kinetic energy and change in potential energy. Okay? So I realize you might be doing this in a Mac. I think it's pretty similar. I did it in a Mac today. It's fairly similar. I have a PC. Just go over the keywords and make sure you follow it step by step. So I'm going to go over to Excel, and I pull up a blank Excel spreadsheet. If you want to do this as I'm going, I highly recommend that. Pull up an Excel spreadsheet now, pause me, and then let's go from there. Okay? Here we go. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to make two graphs. You're going to make one for trial 1 and one for trial 2. All three cases. So the first thing we're going to label is we're going to do case. Actually, let's do a trial. So right in the middle, I'm going to put trial 1. It's all my trial 1 data. Okay. I'm going to have case is going to be the title of the column. Change in potential energy. So change in PE. Change in kinetic energy. Okay. And you can kind of see how this is blocked, like it's not fitting. If I go up here and this little double arrow pops up, double click it. Double click it. Makes your columns fit exactly. It's kind of cool. I can even do it on the case 1. It shrinks it. So I'm going to do case 1, 2, and 3. Now I've got to go look up my data. So let's go back to my data sheet. And here's what it looks like. And in fact, I can kind of shrink this. Make this easier for me to work with. You can adjust your windows as such. And I'm doing change in potential energy. Well, for case 1, remember I'm just doing trial 1, I've got 0.21. So I'll come over here, 0.21. Case 2, trial 1, case 2, trial 1, 0.35. And the last one is 0.49. Just doing trial 1 right now. I'll come over and I'll do change in kinetic energy. Trial 1, case 1, 0.2, 0.33, 0.46. That's where I pulled these two because they're trial 1. Okay, so now you've created your data table in Excel. Next step is to graph it. So I don't need this anymore. I'm going to get that out of here. I'm going to make this big. Okay. Next thing, if you're on a PC, you go to Insert, okay? If you are on a Mac, you are searching for Charts. I think that's what pops up. I don't think it has an Insert button. So go to Charts, click on Scatter. We are going to make a scatter plot today. Don't do any of them with the lines. You don't need the lines, just the dots. And then, whoa, it's like it already made it for me. But this is an ugly graph. It doesn't have what you need. It actually has some wrong stuff too. So we've got to go back in and select the proper data. So let's do that. Go up to your columns here, look for the side that says Select Data. On a Mac, it looks a little bit different, but you should see Select Data somewhere. If for some reason you can't find this up here, you can click it, right-click, and Select Data should come up. If you want to right-click on a mouse, what you need to do is put 2 fingers down, 2 fingers on the pad, and right-click. And click. I think that's right. 2 fingers and right-click. Select Data, and then all of a sudden this thing pops up, and it's got things like Add and Series and Edit and Remove, and you even see you kind of got a cut box over here. What you need to do is click on one of the series. So one of these, blank series, trial 1, whatever it has, you might have 3. Click on one of them, and let's go to Edit. This is going to be your first series, and you're going to do change in potential energy first. So for this name, highlight it all, delete it, and put change in potential energy. Okay, now you want to change the X value. So you can either highlight it, or you can just click it. Click it like that. And we are just going to select 1, 2, and 3. Notice that I can see it selected by it being lit up. Oh, when I messed up. Okay, now series Y value. So I've done my X, I gotta do my Y's. On the X-axis, we've got cases. On the Y's, we're doing energy. So we'll go over here. Remember, this is potential energy, so we're going to select just the numbers, potential energy. And all I'm doing right now is I'm selecting and I'm holding it down. So I hold it down and I drag, okay? Hold down and drag. Close it out. This one is done. Press OK. All right, so now I've titled it Change in PE. That all looks great. We're doing two sets of data on each graph, though, so click the next series. If you don't have anything, you can press Add, and another one will pop up, but that's not what we're going to do. So click on the blank one, Edit. This is going to be change in KE, so I'll put that in for the series name. X values stay the same. It's going to be case 1, 2, and 3. Y values are different. For this one, it's going to be change in KE. All the ones that are under change in KE. Okay, and you're almost there. Press OK. Okay, so you've got change in PE, change in KE. If you have any extras down here, click them and press remove, then press OK. And you should have something that looks like this. All right, so this is your graph, although there are some problems. You've got a legend here, but you don't have any axis titles. So follow very closely as I do up my graph how I want you guys to do it. Okay, first thing, I'm going to go to Layout, and I'm going to go to Axis Title. Okay, I need a horizontal, that means across. I'm going to go over, click Title below Axis. Remember, 1, 2, and 3 represented the case, so I'm going to type in, go up here and type in case number. Enter. Same thing, I need an Axis Title on the vertical. And this was energy, right? So I'm just going to say change in energy. And we always include units. So I always include units in parentheses. So energy is in joules. Parentheses. Done. Okay, so I've labeled my axes. Pretty good. Now I got to clean up my graph a little bit. If you got these lines either up or down, these are called grid lines. Get rid of them. So you can go up to grid lines and you can press horizontal because these ones are across and make sure it's none. And vertical, make sure it's none. You're good. Okay, now it should be blank. But you do need a box around your chart. So click it until this interior box pops up. Right click it, format plot area, border color, solid line. So again, do it one more time. Right click, format plot, border color, solid line, and select black. Now I've got a nice little line that kind of traps my data. Almost done. I need another border on my legend. So I got to select the whole legend there. Right click, format legend. Border color, solid line, black. And I want all your graphs in the future, lab reports, everything to be like this. I'm also going to drag this in. This is wasted space over here. I want to use that space. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to open this. I'm going to drag my plot so it fits it. Just like that. And then this is, can put it right in the middle there. Almost through. Almost through. Next thing, these are labeled weird. We're never going to have a half a case or 1.5 cases, so we got to fix these axes. So select on the axis till the numbers light up. Right click, format axis. Okay, I want it to start at 0 and I want it to end at 3.5 because it's going to go stretch slightly after. But I want it to count by ones, okay? So that way I don't get 2.5. So 1.0 and everything else should be good. Don't select minor unit, make sure that's on auto. There we go. Now we're in business. These units look good. I'm going to stretch this out, just get a little bit more space. Last step, right click the whole chart. So I'm going to back off, click off. See how this border? I don't like that border. Right click the whole chart. I know I'm super picky, guys, but this is how I want you to do it. Looks professional, and if everyone does it, looks good. Go to border color, no line. Click off, now it blends in perfectly. You've got yourself a perfect graph. And you can almost see that change in potential energy and change in kinetic energy were practically the same. One last thing I almost forgot. This is what trial? This is trial 1. You're going to have 2 graphs, so we've got to put a title. Chart title. Center overlay or above chart. This is fine. As long as I drag it down, it should be fine. And the chart title should be trial 1. Perfect. Okay? Select the whole chart. You're going to copy and paste this into your lab report. So go up, Control-C or copy. Go to your lab report. Oh, that's one from old. This will be whatever I'm doing here. This is my lab report, if you will. And this will be in my results section. And then I just do Control-Paste. There it is. Beautiful, right? There, and I want to put it in the middle, so I'm going to center it, and voila. Oh, this looks like it got a little bit dragged across. I'm not sure why. You might have to tweak it just a teeny bit, and you can move it a little bit. You'll get better as your time goes on. Better than me. Okay, voila. You got yourself a graph in Excel. Took me about 10 minutes. If you're following closely, hopefully it doesn't take you more than 15 minutes. Once you've done one, go ahead and put trial 2 just down here. Have a good one.